Family is supposed to be your safe place. The people who would never turn their back on you. The ones you'd bet your life on. But after what happened in my own home, I don't think I'll ever look at family the same way again. My name is Julia, I'm 33, and for the last 8 years, I've been married to my husband, Marcus. We've built a comfortable life, a cozy 3-bedroom house in the suburbs, 2 golden retrievers, and a routine that worked for us. We weren't flashy or wild, but we were steady. Or at least I thought we were. My younger sister Lily, 27, has always been the opposite of me. Where I was cautious and liked stability, she was a free spirit. She bounced between jobs, waitress 1 month, yoga instructor the next, and never stayed in one apartment for long. We'd had our fair share of arguments growing up, but I loved her. She was my sister, after all. And even when she made bad choices, I tried to be there for her. 3 months ago, she called me crying. She'd just broken up with her boyfriend, a guy I never liked, and she had nowhere to go. Her lease was in his name, and he'd kicked her out the same night they fought. She had 1 suitcase and nowhere to land. I didn't hesitate. Come stay with us. Just until you get back on your feet. Marcus didn't object. In fact, he said it might be good for her to have some stability and a safe place to regroup. I thought it was sweet of him to be so welcoming. At first, everything was fine. Lily helped with dishes, took the dogs for walks, and even cooked a few dinners. I could tell she was trying to show she appreciated the help. But after about 2 weeks, I noticed small things. She started wearing makeup every day, even though she wasn't leaving the house. At first, I brushed it off. Maybe it was just part of her self-care. But then the clothes got smaller. Short shorts, cropped tops, low-cut tank tops. She'd lounge around like that even when Marcus was home. And then there were the interactions. The way she laughed a little too hard at his jokes. How she would casually touch his arm while talking. The way her eyes lingered on him was just a beat too long. It made me uncomfortable, but I told myself I was being paranoid. This was my sister. Marcus had always been a go-to-bed early kind of guy. But suddenly, he started staying up later, saying he was watching basketball or a late-night talk show in the living room. One night, I got up to get water around 1 a.m. and found Lily sitting on the couch with him. They looked startled, like I'd walked in on something private. Couldn't sleep, she said, smiling. Marcus just nodded without meeting my eyes. The moment was quick, but it planted a seed in my mind. Over the next few weeks, more odd things started adding up. His phone. Marcus started keeping it on him all the time, even in the bathroom. Her laundry. I found one of her tops in our bedroom laundry hamper. She brushed it off, saying she must have tossed it in by accident. Their inside jokes. Sometimes I'd walk in and they'd be laughing about something, but when I asked, they'd say, oh, nothing. It wasn't any one big thing, but the pattern was hard to ignore. On a Friday in late June, I woke up feeling sick at work. My boss told me to go home early. I didn't text Marcus or Lily that I was on my way. I figured I'd surprise them and maybe we could all have lunch together. When I walked in, the house was unusually quiet. The dogs weren't in the living room, which was strange. I went upstairs, assuming maybe they were in their rooms. That's when I passed the master bedroom and heard it. Muffled voices, a soft laugh, then silence. My stomach dropped. My hand was trembling as I pushed the door open. There they were, in my bed, together. The blanket was pulled up to their waists, but the look on their faces said everything. Marcus's eyes went wide. Lily's hand flew to her mouth. Julia, Marcus started, but I held up my hand. Both of you. Out. Now. Lily scrambled for the blanket. Marcus started babbling. It's not what it looks like. We were just talking. Please, let me explain. But the smell of perfume in the air and the heat in the room told me exactly what had been happening. I didn't scream. I didn't throw anything. I just turned and walked downstairs. My calmness seemed to scare them more than yelling would have. Lily followed me, begging me to listen. She said it just happened and that she'd been drinking. I didn't care. She grabbed her suitcase that night and left. I told her she was never welcome in my home again. Marcus slept in his car. The next morning, I texted him to come get his things. I went to my mother's house. When I told her what happened, she was shocked, but then, unbelievably, she started to defend Lily. "She's been going through a lot," she said. "Maybe she didn't mean to hurt you." That was the moment I realized blood doesn't automatically mean loyalty. 2 weeks later, I filed for separation. Marcus texted me a long apology. He said it was a mistake and that he loved me. But love doesn't make you do what they did. I blocked Lily on everything. She tried to reach out through mutual friends, saying she wanted to explain. But there's nothing to explain when the betrayal is that deep. Some people told me to forgive family as family, they said. But my peace is worth more than people who would destroy it. Betrayal doesn't always come from strangers. Sometimes it comes from the person sitting at your dinner table, smiling at you, all the while planning to take what's yours. And that is a wound that takes a long time to heal.